How's it going, guys? Nick Nowak here, back for another video on the HSR. If you're new, welcome. We ranch out of Northwest Kansas. If you've been along for a while, you already know all that, so welcome. Today I kind of thought we'd talk about some goals for 2025. I like setting goals to where we can look back and kind of reflect, see what we did for the year. I didn't do that on this YouTube video this year because I actually started it January 20th last year. I went back and looked, so I don't think I made a video about my goals for the future. So we're gonna do that this year. So many of you know, if you've been here a while, we've been doing a lot of dirt work up here, kind of where we're gonna put our permanent corral. Our plan is to put dirt all the way up to the rail car and kind of get it as flat as possible. So this will be my first goal for 2025, is to get this all leveled out the way I want it and to get started on our corral. I have a couple ideas in my head of what we want to do, but ultimately that is one of our goals. We want to get the corral at least started up here. I don't know exactly, I don't have the exact layouts. Get away, chickens. They're so loud, they think we're gonna feed them. I don't know the exact layout I want to do yet, but I have some ideas in my head, so we'll be bringing you guys along for that. That's going to be the very first order of business, is trying to get this corral built up here. And kind of going off that, I also want to get the fence built from right there in that corner to the rail car, and the rail car up to here where we're going to be working at. It's all going to kind of tie together, but it's two separate things. So those are two things that I want to for sure get built, are that fence line, this fence line, and this corral. Second thing I want to do is I want to get meat birds this year. We did them 2 years ago, but I really want to do them this year again, and we'll be using our portable chicken pen that I built. I want to run it out here on that pasture out here on the grass and the weeds. I want to be able to rotationally graze those meat birds to where we can get the healthiest chickens we can, so that we're kind of leads me into my third thing, is I want to be more regenerative and be able to eat what we have here on the ranch, what we've raised. So that goes along with beef and chicken this year. To start things off, is I just want to do chicken. Finishing steers and stuff like that, I could do it. I'm set up. I could be set up for it, but that's not gonna be a goal for this year. It's gonna be for dang sure a goal. These chickens, man, for probably 2026, is to be able to finish out a couple steers for ourselves. But I have an uncle who does that for us, so that's not gonna be one of them. But I do want to get meat birds in that portable chicken hut and rotationally graze them on pasture. Not only does it make your pastures healthier, but they're gonna get the stuff the cows don't eat, and so on and so forth. Going into the fourth thing I want to do is I want to get up to 15 bottle calves this year to raise from start till I sell them in probably July or August like I did last year. I raised myself 8 last year. I ended up selling I think 15, but we had bought some 300 pounders, ran them on grass for a little bit. But I want to have up to 15 bottle calves to be able to sell. One thing that I like doing on our place is we have lots of different sources of income. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying it's very smart to be very diverse on the farm. And what I mean is, I'm just gonna give you guys a couple of examples that we do. So as most of you know, we have a big fall herd that's about 2 miles away from us. We have about 40 cows over there, and then we also have a spring herd. So we're getting a check in about June for the fall cows, and for the spring, we're getting a check for them September, November, sometime in there when we sell those calves. So there's 2 checks a year. On about 90 acres that I have on the far side of our property, we run yearlings, and so I get a check for them. We turn 600-pound yearlings out on grass, and when we run out of grass, we send them back and we get a check for them. We do custom grazing, but also we buy into them. So there's 3 sources of income. I raise bottle calves. We did that last year, and I'm giving you guys examples of what we did last year so you have an idea. Raised a bunch of bottle calves, sold them in I think August. So there's the 4th source of income. And then now we have chickens. We've been selling a lot of eggs. We've actually been making a little bit of money. I've been keeping track on our chickens, how much feed we put into them versus how many eggs we get and can sell. And we've actually made about $40 something. So It is profitable. It's not a lot of money, but little adds up to a lot, you know, down the road. So there's 5 sources of income, if I didn't miscount, if that makes sense. Another thing that I want to start doing is we bought these little probably 200 to 250 pound calves, and we're going to raise them up, run them on grass with my bottle calves, and be able to sell them as well. So that you could say is a 6th source of income. And this comes up to my next thing I want to do this year is I want to try and get 2 more sources of income off my ground to help pay for it. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. So if you guys have any, I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but if you have any, let's just say suggestions, feel free to give me some in the comments, because I want to be able to make my ranch cash flow off of only things off the ranch, not including my time. You know, if you do that, it'd be kind of confusing. But if my ranch can pay for itself by just the grass I have, by the things I have here, that is what I ultimately want to do, because I want to be able to expand my ranch and buy more ground down the road and be able to do the same thing on that, let everything pay for itself. So let me recap. The first thing I want to do is get this corral done. And I shouldn't say first thing. I'm going to say one of the things on my list, because it's probably not going to be the first thing I get done. So we want to get the corral done. We want to get the fence done from there to the rail car up to here. I want to raise more bottle calves this year. I want to graze meat birds on pasture this year. And I want to be able to find 2 more sources of income that I can use my ranch for to help pay for it. So kind of pretty broad but pretty specific things that I want to get done this year. I should say this year, in 2025, so starting January 1st. I just want to really dive deep into making our ranch as profitable as possible and make it as utilizable as possible, if that makes sense. And while we're on the topic of goals for this year, one thing I do want to mention also are my YouTube goals. So I started my channel in January 20th, 2023. So of this year, we're coming up on a year in January. And from start to now, I'm up to like 3,700 subscribers, and I am so grateful for that, guys. I appreciate you guys. There's been a couple of you that have been with me from the very beginning. Y'all are the best. But my goal for next year is, I know in the past I talked about putting out videos whenever I want to, but it's been hard for me to stay motivated. And I know I got a lot of projects done in my 50 straight days. So starting January 1st, guys, I had a couple of you ask me to do this, going off those 50 days, but for the whole month of January, and we'll see how far we can get, but for the whole month of January, we're doing a video a day the whole month of January. So hopefully that can drive in some subscribers, because my goal is 10,000 subscribers by the end of next year. So share with your friends. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed already. But I want to have 10,000 subscribers, so I'm gonna do a video a day the whole month of January. If we can keep trucking, we'll keep trucking. I'm gonna try to make sure all the content stays fun and interactive, because there's not a lot that gets done in the winter. So we're gonna try to find some projects to do, get some stuff done around here, maybe tearing out fence, putting fence up, stuff like that. But like I said, you guys have just really motivated me to make my ranch better, and ultimately that's what I needed. You know, because when you work by yourself, as most of you guys know, I work by myself. We'll have my little cousins come every once in a while. My dad comes, works cows with us. But day to day, I'd say 19 out of 20 days, it's just me here. So it's nice to kind of have you guys, bring you guys along, hold me accountable, keep me working. Not only for you guys, because you guys get content, but for me and my family, because the more I get done, the more successful we can be, and the most important thing is our ranch can cash flow itself to where I don't need an outside job to pay for my ranch. That's one of the big takeaways I'm going to go into 2025 with, is I want my ranch to cash flow itself into paying for it. And I'll bring you guys along for that. I'm not really a stickler about money and explaining to you guys if I made money, if I lost money, stuff like that, because some of you guys are beginner ranchers, and I really want you guys to be able to see, let's just say, the truth and the realness of this industry, and if it's even a smart thing for you to get into. Yes, cattle prices are high right now. You can make a lot of money, but I want to make sure you guys know exactly what you're getting yourself into if you're getting into it, and I want to be able to give you motivation behind that. I don't want people to get into ranching and be like, no one's here to help me, no one's here to do this, because there's a lot of people that don't want to see you succeed, and I've seen that in my own life. But at the end of the day, it's about what you want, and if I can help you do that, I'm more than willing to be able to help you, answer questions, stuff like that. But anyways, guys, those are our goals. At the end of this, I'll pop up a screen of my goals written up. And once again, thank you guys for another great year. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Catch you in the next one. Peace.